the wisdom. And the fires of creation is that process of action turning knowledge into wisdom. We all know, but until we do, it's not the experience and the understanding of the experience that it takes to understand it. Experiential situation is really what it is.
It's not about what you do and all of the things you create or don't create. It is truly about lifetime to lifetime endurance and gaining joy and happiness out of it. It's not about success. It is just about joy, happiness, and love.
Have you been finding yourself stuck in a rut, unable to launch your new projects, not getting the experiences you're looking out of your spiritual experiences? You're trying to start a business and running into troubles? I have special coaching sessions for you. Spiritual readings, Akashic Records, healings, all those are available to you. I invite you to come and look at the different journeys that I've done in the live shows that I've done. I'm inviting you all to come on the journey, expand your life, expand your willpower, learn more about sovereignty. We also have the Living the Mystical Life monthly membership. It's a new relaunch of the system where you get all of our live webinars and get access to our Discord server for our live shows. Go to the website, andrewbartzis.com, for more information. Come and join our community, inviting you all to come on this journey as we expand to the universe of the Great Awakening. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. I'm your host, Andrew Bartzis, the one and only Galactic Historian. Today, for the first hour, is a live call-in show. Our second hour will be a members show. And if you want to join the members show, just go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, and you follow the instructions to join the members area. Also, we'll be announcing our next mentorship program is coming out. And the mentorship program will begin in the third week in January. The information is up on the website. So we are giving a little bit of a special opportunity. We are lowering the price, but you'll still be getting, instead of 2 sessions, you'll be getting 1 session with the class, rating session. And we'll be having 3 classes instead of 4, all for $1,000. I highly encourage you all to take an opportunity and come and join the mentorship. It'll begin the third week in January for level 1, level 2, and for the ongoing continuing stuff. With that said, we have a bunch of people already waiting here. Jonah, signal to unmute. Are you there?
Yeah, hey, I'm here. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Jonah, how's it going today?
Pretty good. I'm trying to call it all good, at least.
How have things been since we talked last?
I don't know. Again, I'm trying to focus on the positive as a way to kind of put my mind there. I think that the darker weather kind of hit me, the rainier, darker weather with the winter.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I think I'm hanging in there. And sometimes when I have clarity, I see more clearly how beautiful everything is, or it can be. Though I definitely feel myself struggling with some stuff mentally, emotionally as well.
Mm-hmm. So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I had 2 starting questions at least, and you can ask whatever you want. But rewriting, reframing seemed like an important thing to me, kind of rewriting, because I noticed that I get stuck in stories about the past and kind of stuck in my mind, maybe stuck in my head as a survival technique. And then also I was wondering how much effort exactly qualifies as effort in the effort scale. Like, how can I tell if it's sufficient enough and long enough?
Okay. So here's the general rule of thumb you probably heard me say before. 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week is C plus effort.
Right.
30 minutes a day, 5 days a week is B plus effort. 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week is A plus effort. But you don't measure it daily. You generally try to look at it monthly. what did I average over the month? Okay. You will never be able to have A plus all the time, every time. If you are, you're missing the point of giving yourself the opportunity to work with the flow, or understand that sometimes the hour and a half a day, 6 days a week is too much for 1 week or 2 weeks in a row. And clearly you should take it off to go do other things, but people obsess. And that's where obsession makes you go backwards and not forward. So the equation in your mind is, am I averaging over a month? And if I am averaging very high, am I obsessing? And if I am obsessing, how is it taking me backwards? Okay. Obsession never takes you forward. It always takes you backwards. And that's the illusion, that perception. I'm doing more and more and more, but you're actually understanding less and less about the grander journey.
Okay. Yeah, that's what was hard about the timing. Like, okay, so I'm trying to do the art of living breathing practices every day, which takes more than 15 minutes. But again, I don't know if I'm getting super focused.
Well, what you should do is just put it on your calendar. Okay, today I'm going to do 2 practices. If it's an hour and a half for 2 practices, great. And say, what's the real amount of time? Let's say it's on your schedule for something. Well, what is the actual amount of time you finished with? You go back to the schedule and adjust it. I put an hour in for this. Okay, I did 2 hours of it. Okay, because you want to be able to go back with the hindsight challenge and look at your work as an average. Okay, did you journal about any of the practices that you're doing? Okay, because if you do something, you should absolutely journal about it. Now, should you do it every time? No, but getting on that journey of journaling with your practices, so that when you go to look back and watch your individual aspects of growth.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'll opt for, like, again, I can't tell if I'm getting quality meditation at all, and I get really, impatient or something very easily there.
If you're already saying you don't know if it's quality, you need to switch to do something else. That one technique has become too easy for it to be unsuccessful, and you're having less return on investment. That's why I tell people you need big variety of practices. Meditation is not the only answer.
Right. I might be over focused on that because I'm so into some traditions that say it's like the core or whatever.
But even if it's the core, it shouldn't be done every day. There are other things that amplify the experience of meditation that are a variety of visionary techniques that aren't sitting in meditation in zero mind. Most people do meditation completely incorrect when you get down to the raw, definitive term from where it came from.
I'm hoping that doing my art and walking and just eating good food and listening to music, or sometimes I go through something more emotional when I even watch like a little bit of a movie or something like that. So I feel like I'm connecting with it more.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Okay.
You've got to make a clear separation of what is entertainment. And if I'm emotional in my entertainment, that's not something you add to your practice or your journey. It's just part of living. Okay. And then let's say if you're walking in the park, you probably heard me say this, walks in the park don't really count. Okay. Why? Because the grander journey is, are you doing an actual practice? Okay. If you decide to go on a walk in the park and say, all right, I'm going to sing while I'm walking or something to that effect, can you add that to your journey? The answer is yes. But are you singing for the whole walk? Okay. Are you doing a prayer for the whole walk? Sometimes a walk just needs to be a walk. It doesn't need to have this air of superior, I have to practice all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to continue on that theme. I also was wondering, I can't remember if you really said too much about, you probably have, but cannabis and or psychedelics on the spiritual path, or when it's ceremonial.
I've talked about it many, many, many times. It
Okay.
really comes down to what are your previous experiences with cannabis and psychedelics. If you are smoking more than 9 grams in a month, you're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. About how much cannabis do you smoke?
Oh, hardly that.
Yeah.
Just a couple of times a week or less.
Okay, so you're fine. So you're as long as you're under the 9 grams, you're fine smoking cannabis. Now,
Okay.
I would definitely say don't be smoking the waxes or the dabs. Make sure you're not on something that's like 27, 28, 29% THC. Find something that's the lowest THC you can find, and preferably a high CBD. If you can find something that's 13, 14% THC and 19% CBD, that would be the absolute best for you, or 11% THC, 16% CBD. That would be the absolute best because you're going to get the physical pain reduction, you're going to get the healing high, and then you're going to get all the benefits that the CBD provides for the healing of the body.
Uh-huh.
And a better sleep journey with it.
Yeah. It's just, it helps me get in touch with my feelings in a different way. It finally melts down the mind where I'm in the present more.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why musicians are using cannabis. It gets into the zone. Now, as for hallucinogenic mushrooms, etc.
Yeah.
I generally say if you are an experienced person, meaning you've done them recreationally before, you know what they are, and if you're intending to begin to use them for a spiritual purpose, twice a year is okay. Can you go more than twice a year? The answer is yes, but just start at twice a year, where the reality is I have to set up what my journey is going to be. So preparing for the trip, okay? Have you done, let's say, prepared the space energetically? Do you have prayers to bring to the mushrooms before you take them? Do you have prayers you're going to put into the mushrooms or whatever it is that you're going to take? Have you made some aspect of it sacred to indicate to the body, I am not just here for recreation? Okay. And there's when you take it, have you cleansed the house that day? Maybe you need to take 2 showers in the day and sage your body out, do sage all over your body. And then once you take them, there's about 90 minutes before the shit kicks in. Here's where you need to know, what am I amplifying mood for myself as this journey? Have some food prepared that has prayer in it. Or, all right, I need a list of things to do. I call it your tripper journey.
Yeah.
I've got my toys, I've got my artwork, I've got my music, I got a movie. Okay. Or it's really going to be about, from that first moment I take it until I peak, I am on a meditative visual journey while I'm listening to some revocations. By setting that mood early, you are telling the mushrooms the type of experience that it's going to reciprocate back to you.
Right.
Okay. And then after that 90 minutes, I generally say most people should start with a 0.5 gram and then 90 minutes later do another 0.5 gram, because all it's going to do is extend the journey from 4 hours to 8 hours, because you've already reached your peak on your first dose of 0.5 gram. And a lot of people like to take a lot more. I don't believe in hero dosing in any way, shape, or form. For most people, it is not beneficial at all. If you prepare your space, you have a little bit of experience in basic guided meditation, you can have an extremely colorful journey, extremely introspective. It's, again, setting the mood, setting the space, defining to the mushrooms what you're there for and what you want to get out of it. Okay? Don't be doing it recreational publicly at a club or a bar.
Right. Right. That sounds terrible to me. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that's the only way they know mushrooms is doing it at a friend's house and going out to the bars and clubbing on it.
Right.
They've never experienced it alone in their room, giggling their ass off.
Right. 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 Another thing for me, Well, I know you know how to walk fine lines of medical advice or whatever, but I'm
Mhm.
on a lithium medication, lithium carbonate, and the family thinks it helps me. Maybe it helps me 3 out of 10, like a bit. I can't always feel, but I'm kind of keen on getting off of it because it's contraindicated
All right,
for a bunch
so
of these
hold on.
medicines.
So how long have you been on the lithium, and why did they prescribe it for you?
They prescribed it as, I guess, a mood stabilizer. They thought that I had bipolar, but I don't have the mania type symptoms.
Okay. So you need to
Um,
get yourself re-diagnosed.
uh-huh.
So lithium is not for bipolar. It's for personality disorders with aggressive
Oh,
tendencies.
oh, mm-hmm.
But the fucked up world of medicine is figuring out ways to put other people on it.
Hmm.
Also, if you are going to go off of the lithium, you have at least a year to wean yourself off before you're normal. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
a minimum of a year, a minimum. Okay.
Wow.
And there's not a lot of things that can replace the chemical changes that you're going. There is no diet change when you're in the wean off phase because your body has been using the lithium to replace certain chemistries in your body that properly produce too much dopamine, too little dopamine, acetylcholine, all that other stuff, your whole chemistry. Now, it is contraindicated for hallucinogenic things because it can cause extreme manic episodes.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
while you're on it, I would say probably you shouldn't even be smoking cannabis
Hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
very low amount, well, like what you're already at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
how in touch are you with the person that's prescribing the medicine? Did you
Oh,
do you,
God. Not at all. I went to the psych ward. I voluntarily took myself to the psych ward for the
uh,
first time in my life, and then I was probably, I don't know what my behavior looked like to them, but I was pretty upset, and there's a lot of trauma type behaviors. So they thought that I seemed manic to them, or aggressive, or wanting to make my point or be heard.
okay.
So
Have you had follow-ups with the doctor after that, or do you just been on the medicine they've recommended the whole time?
I've had a follow up with someone that has retired, and then I'm on state insurance, so it's hard to get into the UW system. University of Washington is the one that would take my insurance, and
Mhm.
so I'm kind of sitting with that. I might
How
be able
long
to get,
how long
yeah,
have you been on it for?
since 2000, since just the beginning of COVID, so I guess 5 years, 2000.
That's way too long. That's way too long.
Okay.
You got to push getting a meeting with a psychologist and say that, you want to begin the wean off journey. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. And there are some psychologists that will hate you for that. And there are other psychologists that will embrace it and help you go through the wean off, but also say the chances of you having manic episodes in the wean off go up and up and up and up. And you may have to go on something else in between, which then extends your journey of being med free.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
in most instances, when people have been on a depression medicine, Xanax, Zoloft, etc., lithium, if you've been on it longer than 18 months, and some people have been on it 5 years, 10 years, there is very little to go back to. The wean off is a very destructive journey for the mind.
Hmm.
You go through withdrawals, and then your
Okay.
body doesn't know how to produce the right chemical mixture for you anymore. So you got to be monitored when you're doing that. You just can't go off your meds.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I think I can call in and try to get on cancellations and
Yes.
make it into Seattle as,
Okay.
just
Have you done mushrooms while you're on lithium?
No.
Yeah. I would not do it. I would not do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It was unfortunate to learn because I started like looking it up, and AI for whatever it's worth thinks that seizures are a risk with some of these things.
All
Or
of
the
it
most,
is big risk because
yeah.
what is mushrooms? What is psilocybin doing to the chemistry of your body? Okay.
I don't know.
You're on a
Yeah.
drug that is forcing a chemical pattern in there. And the body sometimes all it can do is go into grand mal seizures. That's right.
Yeah, the other one was the peyote, which is unfortunate because that was really helpful in the Native American church setting for me.
Now you're talking something different here.
Okay.
Now the contraindications with lithium and peyote are a little different.
Yeah.
The only thing is you would need to take a big dose of peyote and wait the 9 or 8 or 7 hours for it to really kick in. And then it would be like a 14 or 15 hour journey. And that could be very, very challenging mentally, emotionally, and physically for you.
I'm used to the ceremonies of peyote goes around 4 times and you just eat a couple of spoonfuls, enough to feel it. And then,
yeah, you're not really getting into the real peyote zone at that point. Like if you made button tea, if you ever get buttons and make tea out of it, or eat the raw peyote, a significant amount.
Yeah.
Right? You get pills, you get the actual pill, which is like 250 milligrams. Again, the challenge is, how does it affect you the next day? And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And are you taking your pills the next day? And how is that interacting with it?
Okay.
You can get the same effects on hallucinogenics with advanced breathing exercises.
Okay.
What are you going to do? This is where you have to go, what am I doing with the journey?
Right.
What am I doing with the experience?
So again, advanced breathing, I don't know if there's contraindicated, but I can look into that more.
No, there's no advanced thing. If something's already fucked up in your head, breathing is okay. Medicine just brings it out.
Yeah.
Medicine just brings it out. Hey, brother, I got to let you go and move on to another caller because it's member. Yeah. We got a members show tonight.
Sure. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that.
All right, Sarah, signal to unmute. You're next. Sarah.
Hi, Andrew. How are you
Hey, darling. How you doing today?
I am tired.
Me too.
Lord have mercy. It's like the past week I can't stay awake.
Oh, yesterday, it finally caught up to me, and I slept half the day and fell asleep at 8 o'clock at night and woke up at midnight. Woke back to sleep, woke up at 2:30 and been up since 2:30.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
What the heck? Is it just the changing energies that we're going through?
For me, it's a combination of the leftovers from the solar flare, the big weather change, standard stress that I'm going through, and then finding the creative journey and balancing it out, because there's lots of work to be done. When you run your own business, when you run a business, and you got to be the creative end, and then the new products and stuff that I'm putting out and all that.
Yeah. And for me, it's like the body says, I know you got great ideas you want to do, but you need to lay down right now. Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Just having fun with the creative side of things. I was really impressed by the last, it was, I think, about 2 weeks ago. You had a gentleman reading one of your new pieces of material. Boy, howdy, that was beautiful. Just beautiful. Releasing the nags of shame, blame, and guilt.
I got 32 more of those teachings coming out. So I've got putting together a kind of like ebook that people will be able to download it. And then all the other teachings, the Living the Mystical Life Daily workbook, and then the mentorship workbook for those people who can't take the class or can't afford the class. I'll be offering just the workbooks for them to practice on their own too.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm in the final part of the Living the Mystical Life Daily and Nightly from the live event. So there's 3 workbooks that'll be coming out on the website in the next week or so. And then probably in January, I'll release the new teachings that I've got going now.
Oh, that's exciting. That is really exciting.
Everything right now is finding a balance. I'll be blunt. It's been a big challenge. People have given up on spirit. Okay. They don't practice anymore. And for the people that are listening, you're the very few here that have stuck with it. Some have left, some have gone away, some have come back. In general, the majority of the audience just wants to hear the Loosh report stuff. Okay. They don't want to put the effort into the practice anymore.
Honestly, I'm finding myself struggling.
Yeah, well, everybody's struggling. And that's the nature of the business. It's a boom and a bust and a boom and a bust. And we're just in one of those booms right now. Busts right now. Eventually people will get sick and tired of the overload of information and start reinvesting back into themselves. And I've got thousands of free teachings out there for them to get them back into it.
Which I got to say is lovely.
Yeah.
It's interesting watching us doing this closing out of cycles and thinking, oh my God, I'm so tired. I have been treading water for like however long now. I'm done. But allowing myself to say that kind of a thing, just to acknowledge it. Yeah, okay, you're tired, but you've come this far. It's right there. The shore is right there. Just a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And trying not to succumb to the whatever. They have been doing carrot and stick on you for how long now? Doesn't matter. Just forget about it. And vacillating between those 2 frequencies for me is, I'm going to toss it in the comical category, because if I don't, I think it would be depressing and I would succumb.
You'd succumb to the vassalization.
Yeah. Just
you just be your own jar of Vaseline. You'd be your own jar of Vaseline.
Yes. Careful, you might slip.
Careful, you might slip.
Don't step near me. You might slip.
Yep.
So just really bringing your writings that you have shared with us, and during my practices as they culminate and build on one another is fascinating for me. It's like the grove of the matriarchs and the patriarchs is such a anchor for me. I enjoy being able to utilize that and then add the rest of them on. Being able to travel throughout the island, going back to the boat, going back to my little campfire, all the way to the top of the mountain. And one of my most favorite things that I have come to enjoy is that I have this picture of all of the ancestors that I can visualize in my head that I've been related to, sitting around this huge log campfire, everybody on their logs. And if I do something silly, they all laugh and fall off of their logs. And so that kind of keeps me real, I guess, because I think I'm doing just fine. And then I get this visualization of all these ancestors just falling off their logs. And I'm thinking, okay, well.
So I like to add a little journey. I like to make my ancestors fall off their logs and laugh so loud they start farting.
Awesome.
It just adds a whole other layer to it.
Excuse me. I was going to ask what just popped up. What is your expression or thoughts regarding Tartaria?
Just last week, Sean Hessman was asking me about this.
Oh, good. I wonder how he's been. Good.
He's been doing good. He's on our Loosh report. I have a lot to talk about it, but a lot of people just aren't ready for how different my perception of it will be. There are a lot of people out there that have made a lot of money defining it as one way. I will add stuff to it, but at the same time, I want people to practice spirit. And when you're putting this other stuff out, it's just another distraction from it. That's one of the reasons I've refrained. I've talked about it here, there, Galactic History 2.0. I talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I've let that industry, because it's its own little industry right now, be its own industry. Okay?
Okay.
Do I need to put my foot into that industry? The answer is no. But I have a whole different point of view of how the world is. Example, this is not 2025 right now. 300 years of human history has been missing for a very long time. It's really like 1700. And there are 6 distinct spots where we're missing. Time was irrationally recorded into something.
Irrationally
recorded, yes. Meaning something was heavily influencing the books of the time to write it away into an irrational perception, not the rational perception of the time. Like the whole journey with the Dark Ages and the plagues, etc., was a way for them to erase linear time of what really was going on during those times. Here's another example. The wood carving in Germany that talks about the UFOs in the skies fighting each other. Yeah. That wasn't one time. That happened over a period of 140 years where every night the sky was like that. Okay?
Oh,
right. Okay. And there are crashed ships everywhere from that. And then shortly after that, there was the galactic tow trucks and recovery trucks that came here to pick up all the wreckage. So there was another journey where human beings were hired as tow truck driver helpers to pick up the irradiated materials, and many of those humans died from that.
Well, yeah.
Tartaria, I will give this about Tartaria. It was a surface community that had cities and people all over the world. It was a global society inside societies already.
Similar.
And their main purpose was to collect the right human lineages to make breeding cows that could be sold to the various oligarchic groups that were coming from other worlds and trying to set up lineages here.
Oh.
Okay. That's their purpose during the time. That's not their only purpose, though. Okay. They were the inheritors of much of the technology from Lemuria and Atlantis. They were not solely Lemurians and Atlanteans. They were the descendants and inheritors who came from underground, who didn't know surface living and had to learn surface living. Then after being on the surface for a few hundred years, they finally learned how to live on the surface purposely and were able to bring more people from the deep underground to repopulate the world after many mud floods, at least 7 mud floods. But these are not global mud floods.
These were targeted mud floods then?
Yeah, targeted floods.
All right.
Yeah, because again, it was about erasing DNA off of the surface and replacing it with a common style of DNA that would not be able to genetically rebel against your control systems they were creating. Now, the big push to secret societies from 1550 to 1680, there is where the Tartarians realized they just were not going to be able to survive on the surface anymore because the new owners of Hollow Earth didn't want their sect there anymore.
Wow.
Okay. So think of it like in New York when they want to take away rent control and they want to kick the people out of the apartment so they can rebuild the block. That's what happened to the Tartarians. They got block busted.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So very wealthy beings from other worlds going, I don't want you on the surface of the world anymore.
And then they don't want them in the inner earth either.
No, they're second, third grade, fourth grade, not even citizens.
Oh, wow.
So many of them blended into secret societies and took their breeding cows, which are women and men who could give birth to very unique and powerful and potent beings, generation after generation after generation, and use that as an internal power for their variety of secret societies and spread it all over the world.
Oh, that's a new twist.
Yeah.
Okay, and then did the Tartarians and the Cathars ever interact?
Yes. So the Cathars are an extension of the Tartarians, but the Cathars' main purpose was to sell breeding cows off world and to sell the large volume of space junk and technology that was here on this planet to off-worlders, and get technology from other worlds and bring it here and sell it to the various black markets here that were supporting other underground societies that were not just Tartarian.
Oh.
So think of them, the black market traders.
Damn, because I thought they were not the black market traders. I thought they were like the good guys trying to just hang on and hold the fort.
Well, technically they were the good guys because the Tartarians and the other black market traders became enemies of the people that we are enemies with now. They became their own underground movement that was constantly being attacked and killed by the new owners of the Hollow Earth. So we had my enemy's enemy as my friend. After a few hundred years, they were your friends. They were the ones you could survive with or trade information with to keep survival going.
Okay, so let's jump to now.
What about it?
Yeah. So we keep hearing that, like I was saying, we're almost to the shore.
Are we?
Are we?
No.
We're
on one of those things where we're oaring and we're in a riptide that's pulling us out. No matter how hard we row, we think we're getting closer and closer and closer, but we're really not.
Thank you for that, because that's the feeling and sensation.
Okay. And that's because the world itself is so heavy and laden down with information overload.
Okay. So be that as it may. Those are the facts.
Think of the information overload as the riptide.
Agreed.
Okay.
So my concern for myself as well as others is the discernment when we get to the shore. We'll just call it the shore, or disclosure or whatnot.
Disclosure doesn't mean the shore. It just means you're not in the riptide anymore and you're out of your boat. You still have the long height inland.
Yes,
okay?
And discerning.
And now you'll be dodging dinosaurs and demons and all the other things you've avoided on your spiritual journey to get to the promised land of disclosure, which is deep in the interior of the land you're about to land on. But the good thing is you're out of information overload. Now you're just dealing with the evolutionary predators that don't want you to go any further.
Okay. So preparing for that.
self-healing, self-nurturing, and the mastering of that journey. Finding the joy in prayer, getting out of unnatural living and having some aspects of natural living, discovering what a daily practice means with commitment, courage, and discipline. That's the fundamental part of that journey, past, present, and future. What you discover during that journey of commitment, courage, and discipline, and finding a way to have the variety of practices, that's what Spirit reveals about yourself to make the inland journey a way for you to avoid the natural, the evolutionary predators that are out there.
So would I be on the track to focus on keeping the inner journey the most important part?
That's another thing. You still have to live life.
Yes.
And so it's a delicate balance of that inner journey versus having an outward life of friends and family and new experiences that you're open to having instead of being closed off because the spiritual journey does want you to be hermetized.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's another thing. There are paved roads on the inland journey. Okay. Let's say when we do get off the boat, we got a few mile hike, and then we're going to hear the highway. Okay. And then are you going to hitchhike? Okay. Or are you going to make your journey to the next truck stop and get an Uber?
Okay. And that's part of my question is that for me growing up, I was that tail end. You and I are about the same age. That tail end when people would actually still hitchhike to the point of you don't hitchhike no more. That's just crazy. Just don't do that.
Okay. So people on the no plan are the hitchhikers in the dangerous world of evolutionary predators. Now, when you decide to get a plan and stick with the plan, you have a great way to avoid the evolutionary predators. They're going to put you back into the karmic grinder.
Wait a minute. Did you just say karmic grinder?
Yes.
I don't want to be a meat sausage at the other end of the damn karmic grinder.
You don't want to be a meat sausage to the evolutionary predators who are going to grill you up.
Yes, I do not.
And have you for a picnic dinner.
Okay. So then how much does our imagination and utilizing that and building the world that we would prefer, am I just blowing smoke up my own ass?
No, you're just applying it in the wrong place. That visionary young aspect that you just talk about, that's what you should be doing in your first 10 minutes after you wake up. Planning your future day, envisioning the perfect day, having a way to imprint on the future coming to you with so much of your dreaming self still a part of your awakened self. We plan our future in that first 10 minutes, our future day. And when you get good at it, shit happens.
Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. Then it still is a valid tool. I'm not just blowing smoke up my own ass.
You just got to learn to use it in the right way.
Okay.
And then there are times you got to daydream during the day.
Oh, hells yeah.
Okay, you had a daydream or fantasize or whatever it is. But the most effective way to use that tool you just described, that's the first 10 minutes of the day.
Oh, yeah. I have noticed, and I'm trying to figure out where my personal glitch is. When I do a plan and I set out my, especially if I get to the point where I list it out on a piece of paper, what I would like to do for the day, it goes south. So I don't know. I've been
We've
doing
talked
it for
about this
years.
before. And a lot of it's because you were on the no plan for so long that you don't want to be saddled with a plan. And when you do saddle yourself with your plan, the saddle itches, the belts are too tight, and you want to be a free with the no plan. Okay? And then you have the challenges of the family, the loss of your husband, the mourning, all the things that you've gone through. And then are you going to get a job versus not get a job? Okay.
Okay.
All of those things are saddling you with a plan, and you're rejecting the plan because I want to be free. And that's the tug of war between plan and no plan. And all too often, the no plan wins out. Because the little person in you who needs to be free wins. But in fact, you're the one that's losing when you don't have a plan. And thus you start over with a new plan every time.
Okay, I got it.
Okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay? You do have plans, you just don't stick to them.
Yeah, that's what I just heard.
Yeah, just don't stick to them.
Freaking plan.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't get it today, carry it over until you get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Until such a time you've got a long-term plan and you can be free within your plan.
Okay, so I don't know if this is just argument's sake or not, but in comparing that to we're still in this riptide of overload, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want to make a freaking plan? I'm not even close yet. How can I make a plan?
Because the plan goes, all right, I'm going to stick an outdoor board motor on this thing so I don't have to oar my ass in.
Oh my God. Sometimes I'm slow.
Yeah.
That's a great
So you're
idea.
still oaring away when you could have put the outboard motor on and got right through the riptide. And pulled your boat up, got off on it, got your backpack. Hey, I got a map. Oh, the freeway's right over there. Look at that. There's a truck stop there. And man, one of my future self left me a car. Because I had
full
a plan.
tank of gas and the snacks in the glove box.
Yes, exactly. And you're back on the freeway and you're not out in the water anymore.
Okay,
that's what the plan does for you.
All right. Okay. That's Andrew, thank you.
Now, for all the people that heard me say no to you that were not out of the thick of it, were still in the riptide and didn't listen to the rest of this, okay, that was their karmic journey to stop listening there because they ultimately are not going to choose a plan.
That's their sovereign choice.
That's their sovereign choice.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At 40 minutes of the show, they turned it off. We're not out of it yet.
Thank you for doing what you do.
You're welcome. They got the Tartaria talk, followed by they're in the riptide. Okay. Okay. Well, here's another thing. What's the point of me talking about Tartaria during the riptide? Am I just adding to information overload?
Could be. Depends on your perspective.
Okay. I'm always open to questions, and if anybody asks me about it, I bring it up, just like you did. Again, Tartaria does come up every now and then. Okay.
Yeah, it's made it into my world again. I've only had little bits and pieces that I have gathered over the years. And there's small pieces that go, oh, that resonates. That feels familiar. And others that it's just, this is junk information.
I also don't want to comment about the Tartaria industry that's out there because a lot of it is just doesn't even stand up to most basic common sense. It's all conspiratorial theory connected to conspiratorial theory with no reality behind it. And I'm not going to point out who, what, when, or what, where, or why, but You should be able, through some common sense the bullshit for being bullshit.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at, and it's kind of frustrating because then I start to investigate. Would I be able to go into my local library, do you think, and find anything in regards
Nope,
to
it's all been
Tartaria?
scrubbed out of the history books.
Okay, all right.
What little is left out there, the Tartarian industry has already covered.
Okay.
And twisted it to their own industry expression. And it is an industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's an information industry.
Well, I can understand why it would be such a boon for an information industry, because we can't prove it just as yet. It's exciting. It's near.
And it's part of the entertainment world where people that get into the stuff, they search for it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, going forward, I'm going to look at my car that I want to have, because that sounds like fun. And I'm going to think about the snacks that I'm going to find in my car. And
Why don't you start with putting the motor on the boat?
I already did. Already did that. We're on the way to the shore, honey. You said outboard motor. I'm just like, oh, you forgot that technology can actually be used as a tool. You're trying to do all this get back to nature stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's grand. That's grand. Excellent. However, don't poo-poo all the technology that we've worked so hard for, and we want to see more of the suppressed technology that has. That's the frustrating part for me. All the suppressed technology is just like...
Listen, sooner or later, the pimple is going to pop.
Good.
Okay? And after the pimple pops, and the pimple being this information overload, is going to swell, and eventually it's going to pop. And there's going to be a dramatic shift. I don't know which direction or where. I am pretty much thinking late 2027, early 2028. The pimple will have been popped twice by then. Okay.
Good,
have you ever popped a pimple twice where you got the big chunk to shoot out and you went back and it shot out more the second time?
Oh yeah, you finally get down to the core of it.
Finally get down to the core. Okay. 2026 is going to be the first pop, and the second pop is late 28, 27, 28.
Yeah,
okay?
I've been having a
and then
similar feeling.
The blood comes out after that.
Yep.
Okay. And if you're real smart, you put the antibiotic on and you never pop them from the beginning, but we're in a kind of fucked up world. Okay. The pimple's going to pop once. Truth. It's going to pop twice. And, could there be a third pimple pop? Absolutely, there could.
Could be.
That's that solid chunk that comes out of the bottom at the very end. Okay, the one that goes pink on the mirror.
And you say, right. It's done. It doesn't hurt to touch there anymore.
Exactly. Okay. Just a big red mark now.
Get your hot washcloth out, clean yourself up, move forward.
So our pimple is still growing now.
Okay.
And you're metaphorically lining yourself up in the mirror.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to get the right angle.
Yes, that is what it feels like. Good.
Yeah.
Good metaphor.
Yeah.
We're going to pop the zit right now, babies.
Well, it's the metaphor is the world's going to pop it on its own because it's going to get overloaded too much where it's just going to stop accepting the information overload. And a lot of people are going to be very damaged from that. Very damaged.
Oh, that's the sadness that I feel.
Yep. That's the sadness.
Oh,
Why these new teachings are coming out. And I'll be blunt. What I did with these new teachings, I took the responsibility of being a shaman out of the teachings. Okay? I took the responsibility of commitment, courage, and discipline, even though it's part of the teachings, out of it. The whole daily practice out of it. Right now, people aren't into that. Here is the raw essence and core of the teachings that you can have practical applications and learn to do something with without the weight of shamanism and heavy spirituality in it.
That came through. I really felt that in that first reading that we did. It's a different perspective almost.
Yeah, it is.
in regard to the shame, blame, and the guilt. And
Mhm.
they rotate, and they rotate so quickly. Is it because that's just the programming and familiarity? Does that ever stop if you continue the practice? Or is it just
So the three nags of shame, blame, and guilt, once you confront them, they've lost a lot of their power. When you let them grow back, they gain new power. Okay? So shame, blame, and guilt is an ongoing journey, but it's not endless. Example, there's only so much traumas you've had in the past that are empowering the three nags of shame, blame, and guilt. And once you plow through 75% of the shame, blame, and guilt stuff, what's remaining? The core wound. And once you finish healing the core wound, shame, blame, and guilt are still an aspect of growing. It's just not using the core wounds to amplify it anymore.
okay?
It's looking for new things.
Now, the core wounds relegated to this lifetime, or can they include?
Mostly.
Okay. All right. Do we have shame, blame, and guilt that we are dealing with that has been handed down through the genetic
Sure. The
lineage?
systematic child abuse is passed on from generation to generation to generation.
So when we're facing an issue of the shame, blame, and guilt that we're like, I don't really get this, I can't recognize this in this lifetime, do you have recognizing where that comes from, or is that...
If you can't identify your shame, blame, and guilt of this lifetime,
Yep.
you're doing something fundamentally wrong. Okay? You're born this lifetime. Because you have karma that comes from another lifetime, it is only using the wounds of this lifetime to manifest through them.
So the stuff that is...
Unfortunately, this fucked up light worker community, it came from another life. It was a curse from another life. Yes, that stuff exists, but it does not dominate all the perspectives. That's why so often when people ask about their past lives, or did this come from a past life? No, you got to deal with this life now. This is the life going through the awakening. And this is the life that whatever traumas you have now are the ones you were supposed to go through the awakening to release the past. And there are people who need to know what happened in the past. And there are other people, the second you give them 1 ounce of the past, they will avoid the present forever.
Okay, that's understandable. And that's not what I want to do.
Sure.
I would like
work
to
on this lifetime.
Okay.
You're not going to go wrong working on this lifetime. Okay?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So if I'm feeling like that, it's like I don't get where this particular one is coming from, just dig a little deeper on.
So give me an example.
God. Well, we're going to take it back to the original one there. Being molested by my father.
Okay.
As a young person.
Okay.
There is shame, blame, and guilt that goes all around that.
Right.
Because
it was dumped into you, and your young feminine side was suppressed with aggressive male father energy that suppressed the woman in you.
Yes.
And thus, the suppression of the woman in you is the main trauma that you're dealing with, along with the sexualized traumas that you went through.
And I keep hearing the word trust in there.
Trust what?
Trusting any male figure that is...
Okay, then that's this lifetime issue, isn't it?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a man. Do you trust me?
Yes. And if I was in your presence physically, I'd have to reevaluate that. I would.
I understand that.
Right.
And
So from
that
here to
is
there,
because it's embedded into your body. Your body trauma is different than the mental and spirit trauma. The body is what went through the actual suppression of your female DNA. And your mind had to deal with the suppression of a female DNA that traumatized it even further.
So I've been looking around.
And then you were robbed of your childhood also.
Yes. This is true. Yep.
All of those are compounded multiple traumas.
Okay.
So how do you not see it connecting to this lifetime?
Because I'm considering, why did I choose that particular experience?
You are now judging through the trauma, an infinite self you have no connection with. Because you have been desensitized by the trauma.
Yeah, that's been part of my
How could
armor.
you, higher perfect self, make me go through this?
Okay.
With a little bit of a foot stomp and a head roll and an eye roll.
Yeah. Okay. I can deal with that. Yeah.
So we now have a traumatized you blaming your higher self.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thus alienating you from your higher self even more. Thus keeping you stuck in the world of the mind, not the connected heart and spirit. You are in the mind trails, not the whole universal trails. You had to resolve, you had to live through your mind to get through the traumas because spirit abandoned you.
Well, I wouldn't say that spirit abandoned me.
In one part of your young girl life, she accepted being abandoned and not heard. It may have changed later in your life, but there was a part of you who went through that. That's a part of that fundamental trauma in you.
Yeah, I do have, I recognize that I just want to be heard a lot.
Because no one believed what you were going through.
Oh, I didn't even bring it up. There was no way.
Right.
There was
they wouldn't have believed you.
Way. Right. And what were they going to do about it? And then it was going to be a whole, I played that whole scenario out. Yeah.
Shame, blame, guilt, shame, blame, guilt, shame, blame, guilt.
And I told it to shut up because I've got to go on and live my life out here.
Yeah, you had to suck it up, buttercup, and move on.
Yeah.
And beating yourself up even more.
All right. And then, okay. So, yeah, I can look at the world around me and go, yes, life is beautiful. And I love the trees and the froggies and everything. However, the sun goes down and then thoughts come up and you get stuck. So the body thing. Okay, fuck it. What am I missing? What am I fucking missing? What is the right question to be asking here?
What do I have to do to get it out of my body?
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And that's going to be involving hands-on healing, deep tissue massage, flotation tanks, eating right, getting out of the hermit energy, getting out into public, finding a way for you to go through the journey of trusting men again by putting yourself in scenarios where you can meet them and let them become friends, etc., etc., etc. The physical part of healing yourself.
Okay.
Which is the biggest thing you've avoided your whole life.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Okay. I got this. I
I got to let you go.
Yep,
I've got to move on to
it's
my
time.
member show.
Yep. Thank you. I'll see you in there. All right. Bye. Thank
All right,
you.
everybody. We're going to call an end to the show. We will be back tomorrow for the Friday Night News Report. Also, the new mentorship for 2026 is available on the website. Highly encourage you to come and join it. Pick up spirit. Let go of the information overload. And we'll see you all tomorrow or in the members show.